Well, here we are. I'm almost a little embarrassed to make this YouTube video because it has been that long. 4 years since our last proper video, 2 years since our fake comeback. Life got in the way and this channel got unloved and untouched. But we couldn't ignore the requests any longer. Truly, random people our friends knew would mention this couple they found on YouTube. I think they were gonna build a house and made a few videos, but completely stopped. And I don't even know if they're okay. What do you mean you know them? We are alive. We did indeed build a house and a guest house, but we stopped filming for YouTube because it turns out filming, editing while building a house, which you've never done before, is hard. Who knew? To paint a picture, our days would start around 6:30. Get ready, get breakfast, get coffee. Josh would usually head out to the build first. I would stay behind to make our lunch, pack that up and the dog. We would work for a few hours, eat, work for a few more hours, all while running back and forth to Home Depot approximately 30 times. And we'd come home, walk the dog, clean up lunch, make dinner, clean up dinner, figure out what we were doing the next day by watching YouTube videos, make a shopping list of tools, go to sleep, and do it all again. We had a passive business running in the background, which made it possible for us to do so much work ourselves, but for some reason I thought it was a good idea to still take illustration clients. So there would be some nights where Josh was going to bed and I would be sitting down to work at 9 p.m. usually crying. Building is not for the faint of heart, and we really did not have any brain space left for creating and very little emotional capacity for mean comments from strangers on the internet. We had what we referred to as house hangover for a while, but time and distance do wonders. We don't want this to just be a throwback channel, but we realize we do need to catch you up. If you started following us on Instagram, where we were sharing daily stories about the build, this will feel a little familiar, but if you have been waiting here for an update or found us from Kristen and Michael's channel, here's what happened. Before the build started, we told you guys we were going to take a hybrid approach. So we would bring in the finances and the scheduling and hire out subs to do a majority of the work while we did some of the work ourselves. We planned on starting construction in 2020, but you guys know how that year went. So we spent that time working with our designer to finalize plans and then going back and forth with the county to get those plans approved. We started finding contractors from around town, from our former landlady, from one of my yoga students, and those personal recommendations were so helpful. A lot of people told us before the build that the most difficult part was going to be finding reliable subs who weren't just going to ditch us for the builders they normally work with. Contractors were hired for excavating and grading, framing, concrete, plumbing, electrical, propane, fire suppression, stucco, drywall, HVAC, and countertops. We were going to do our bathrooms ourselves, but at the last minute decided to hire that out, and I am so glad we did, because I think if we tried to learn tiling at the end of our build, that would have thrown us over the edge. We were in charge of building our kitchen cabinets, installing interior and exterior doors, finishing our concrete floors, which we royally messed up on and had to fix, painting everything inside. Ask us about the time we repainted the ceiling 5 times. All of the trim, finishing electrical and plumbing, installing fixtures, staining all the wood for our pergolas, doing the entire internet network, and any other random things that just needed to get done. There was also a lot of digging and filling of trenches, and may we never forget the day that Josh fell into the trench that he was digging.
I think you need to get out of the vehicle for a second.
I don't want to get out of the vehicle.
I think you need to.
I don't want to.
Even if we weren't actively doing work, we researched every phase of the build and were on site pretty much every single day. We wanted to have some knowledge so that, one, we knew what was going on, and two, we could communicate with the contractors and not sound like total dum-dums. And this ended up being really helpful because we were learning so much, which we love. We developed really great relationships with some local contractors, and we were able to catch a couple of mistakes that would have been so expensive to fix. Even though we didn't have experience in any of these fields, this was our own home and we had the opportunity to be a part of it, so we took full advantage of that. What we lacked in knowledge, we made up for in just being hyper fixated on getting things right. And if any of this sounds really glamorous to you, just remember that we spent more time than we thought we would cleaning up the trash bin. From putting a hole into the ground to passing final inspection, the build took about 11 months. We finished just in time to snag a decent mortgage rate and to get the casita ready for its first high season as a rental. And since then, we've been living in the desert full time, and yes, right next to the rental that I manage. That passive business I mentioned kind of ran its course, so Josh dived deeper into the world of construction and hosting and short-term rentals, which we will definitely tell you about. Some sad news is that we lost our dog Sam a few months ago, and we used to joke that we were building this house for him with the fenced-in yard and all of the sliding doors so that he could sit outside and look in and sit inside and look out. And we were kind of not joking. It's really weird not to see him in the hole that he very proudly dug for himself, but we're super grateful that he got to enjoy it for a few years. One thing that surprised us about our build is that it never really feel like it's over. We prioritized getting the casita ready to be rented out, which meant that we didn't finish final landscaping. There's still some projects here in the house that we didn't do, so hopefully we'll be able to get those knocked out and share that with you guys. But don't hold your breath. We're excited to be back and answer questions and share what living a non-traditional life in the desert is like. We know it's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to, but thank you for welcoming us back. Okay, I'll see you again in 4 years. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be much sooner than that. Okay, bye.